Good morning, people, fellow humans. Yes, and I spell that. What's wrong with my shirt? Looks like it's crooked. I spell that Huemonds. Colorful nuts. Today is Monday, August 18th, 2025. It's about 6 o'clock in the morning, and this light seems a little bit bright. How's that? How's that? Better? Okay. So here we are on another Monday. This is the beginning of week 2 in the neuroscience-oriented approach to success. Week 2, day 1, week 2. The chapter is called Inside My Skull-Sized Kingdom. This is where we learn about how, in a very simplistic way, our brain works. Neurons, neurotransmitters, and one part of the brain called the reticular activating system. We're going to focus on that this week. Today it's how neurons work, how memories are stored, our lived past, anticipated future, our ability to simulate, our personality, all of those things we're going to focus on today. Tomorrow is neurotransmitters, the chemicals that make us have our emotions, the chemicals from which our emotions derive. And then on Wednesday, we're going to focus on the reticular activating system associated with the law of attraction. What are those boards? Dream boards or anyway, that's what we're going to do. The theme of today, though, is the 4-quarter day. Darren Hardy thing, the 4-quarter day. And we'll talk about advice from an 80-year-old in a second. The thing right now is, our focus right now is what? Why are we here? The class course answers 2 questions. Who am I? Why do I behave the way I do? The question to focus on right now is, why are we here watching this, whatever time of the day it is for you? Probably not live, because it's 6 o'clock, too early for most people out here in the West, and 9 o'clock, a little bit too late for people in the East, even if it was at 8 o'clock. Not a great time for it. So, let's see. Why are we here? Well, we're here to create better habits, create a program, repetition, 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 build better habits. That's why we're here, to build better habits. Because most of what we do is non-conscious. So if we have better habits on how we do it, that will be better for us. Okay. So the theme of today, the 4-quarter day. What? Yeah, 4-quarter day. Let's look at some advice from an 80-year-old. Remember that 80% of the success in any job is based on your ability to deal with people. So you have a job. Who are the people you have to deal with? 1, customers. 2, other employees. 3, management, your boss, whoever that is. So your ability to be successful is your ability to be successful with these 3. Now, some people are so successful with one of those groups, say the customer, that management coworkers and management will have to overlook it. So Steve Jobs was sort of like that, right? Steve Jobs was like that. His coworkers didn't like him, and for management, it was tough dealing with it, but he produced. Next, if you're good at dealing with management, but you're not really a good job, usually the employees don't like you. So 80% of success is how we deal with people. All right, cool. Seth Godin, what's he have to say? An invitation to vibration. Many organizations have a widget or service, something people already need or want, and they work to sell it to people. Some seek monopoly power so they can force others to do what they want them to do. But there's a third path. We can create a brand or a movement or a community that seeks to do things with people. A chance to accompany someone on a journey, to lead instead of manage, to amplify and narrate. When we help people get to where they hope to go, persuasion isn't as important as enrollment and engagement. Okay, so don't so seek to do things with people, with your customers. Okay, cool. Now, what else we got here? Okay, let's talk about how we're doing for time. We've got two more things. Yeah, we're doing great. So let's talk about let's talk about the TED Talk for today. Today's TED Talk is from Sebastian Song, who 10 years ago was mapping the connectome mechanically, taking very thin slices of the brain and coding it in. So that's what his TED Talk is about. Our purpose for watching it is he does a good job of explaining neurons, how they work, what they're like, etc. And what is this thing called the connectome? We know what the genome is, right? That's all of the DNA that we have, the sequence of DNA. Its connectome is all of the connections in the brain. So there's a particular type of cell in the brain that's important, which is called a neuron, or as Yuval Harari would say, a neuron. So there are no neurons in our brain, in brains. Animals that have brains have neurons. Some are different types of neurons. Primate neurons are different looking than rodent neurons. But they serve the same purpose. Electricity, powered by electricity, and they are chemically based. So one neuron communicates with another neuron through a synapse where they're lined up next to one another. And one neuron, say this one, releases a neurotransmitter that this one retrieves. And so you put long strings of those together and you can store information. Poof. Also, based upon that information, the sequence of information, other neurotransmitters can be released into the body, which make it feel a certain way. And then we will associate those feelings with the stimulus. So kind of like Pavlov's dogs, right? When the stimulus occurs, the neurotransmitter is released because of the stimulus, even if the stimulus is false. Okay, so we learn about neurons today. Tomorrow, neurotransmitters. Wednesday, the reticular activating system. So this is a really good fundamental basic one into the understanding of who am I? Who am I? What do neurons do? What are neurons? What do they do? How do they work? Etc. Very good, important one for that. Now, let's move on to the Darren Hardy little chat for today. The four-quarter system. Four-quarter system. I should have downloaded that. Well, I'll do it later. The PDF. So he says one way to not have your whole day ruined is to think of it sort of like a series of games. There's 4 games in a day. You lose this game, you don't want your day to get screwed up. So we break the day into 4 4-hour periods. And then there's 8 hours for rest. So from 6 to 10 a.m., from 10 to 2 p.m., from 2 to 6 p.m., and 6 to 10 p.m. You have those 4 quarters. And he makes a point at the beginning by saying athletes generally have 2 or 3 good quarters. They very rarely have 4 good quarters. But they don't let the bad quarter disrupt their game. They have a way to get around it. And it's like the quarter is over, another quarter starts. So let's mirror our life that way. Let's do our lives that way. We'll do our lives so that there's 4 4-hour quarters, 6 a.m. to 10, 10 to 2, 2 to 4, 2 to 6, 6 to 10. And you plot out what you want to accomplish in those periods. And if you have a bad period, take 5 minutes and then treat it like you're going into a new game. Don't let the past quarter affect your day, because a lot of people, something bad happens now and that wipes them out for the whole day. So Darren Hardy's saying, here's how to do it. Think of your day as 4 4-hour quarters. Try to get in 3 good quarters. You're going to have 1 bad quarter, so you're setting reasonable expectations. Do that, and then focus on the quarter. And we'll have a link in here so that you can document. You can write down how to do it. A little worksheet. We'll call it a worksheet. So let's look at our worksheet, see if there's anything else worth talking about. Okay, Daily Stoic Learning, Seth's blog, we did that. Jordan Peterson, all's good. Okay, people, so it's Monday. And you know what? We're going to call it quits. This was a short one, a good one, a lot of stuff to do today. And with that, we'll say, and cut. Thank you for being here. As always, thank you for being here. This is to help build better habits. Comfortable being uncomfortable, build better habits.